5:08 on the KRMG Evening News with Skylar Cooper. Time for the BA Breakdown. We normally talk live right here with Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon, but he is off for one more deserved week as he is celebrating his honeymoon. So sitting in this week is Broken Arrow Police Chief Brandon Berryhill. Chief Berryhill, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Skylar. How you doing?
Doing really well. Hopefully you guys are doing okay out there. A lot of rain today, and it's just going to keep on coming.
Yes, it's much needed for us, though, so we're glad to have it.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about the newest addition to your department. I didn't make it out to the meet and greet over the weekend, but you have this new Mounted Patrol Unit, which, first of all, looks really cool. But can you give us the practical sense? Where are we going to see the Mounted Patrol in use for BAPD?
So now that they're gone to the school, we actually have 16 total. 14 graduated. We had 2 that couldn't make it all the way through. One had a birth of a baby, and the other one had an injury, so we'll eventually get those through. But you're going to see their official debut at the Rooster Days Parade coming up, and they'll be the last entry in the parade for obvious reasons on May 20th. So we're going to slowly work those into festivals, parades. We can see, we have a lot of events at the events park, some of the walking trails. There's a lot of public outreach we do with elementary schools, which, the kids really love the horses. So they're very multi-use oriented. So they don't just look cool, they actually serve a purpose.
I remember reading when it was first announced that this was coming, that investigations was on that list of reasons to have a mounted patrol unit, the officers on horseback. How does that work? Is it just because you're up a little higher, maybe you can go through a scene and see something? Or how do you investigate a scene with someone on horseback?
Actually, what happened is we had an incident where an elderly gentleman had walked away. He had some cognitive issues, and he had wandered off into some high brush, and he wasn't being able to be seen. And one of the detectives, a couple of them, went home and got their own personal horses, and they were able to get out into the field and actually spot him. Unfortunately, due to the exposure, he had passed away. But that kind of spawned the idea of having that capability. Detective Connor Poole is the one that actually came up with the idea, and his sponsor, or the internal captain that's kind of championed his cause, is Captain Deidre Hughes.
I got you. Now, is the mustache a requirement to be on horseback?
No, it just makes the horse feel more comfortable. But not all of them have mustaches. But we've got. It was an odd thing. They best kept secret for several months, and Jacqueline Wallace, our research specialist, and Connor and some other folks came in and did an entire business plan presentation for me. Connor actually had a 3-piece suit with cowboy boots, and just completely blew me away. I don't know how they kept it a secret, but the plan they had, the criteria, the training, long-term usage, they really had thought this thing all the way through.
It's really fun. It's going to be cool for the community to see, and like you said, the engagement factor. Where do the horses live? I mean, is there a particular caretaker for all of these, or is there a kind of piece by piece?
Well, oddly enough, the Broken Arrow Police Department is not in the business of owning horses, and so it's BYOH. You got to bring your own horse, and so all these horses are owned or rented by the individual riders. So when they're at home and they are being fed, cared for, all that kind of good stuff, and we're not paying for it. The city's not paying for that. It's their horse. Now, what we've done is we have deputized them, so to speak, just like a canine dog. And if they're on duty and they're working for us and they get hurt, we'll cover their vet bills. But when they're home doing their horse thing, we're not paying for their boarding or anything else. Gotcha.
That is really cool. We have some pictures up at krmg.com. If folks want to search Mounted Patrol Unit, BAPD, will find it there. Chief, I wanted to ask you another thing, moving on here. We talk a lot with Michael Spurgeon about BA being such a growing city. We talk a lot about development, new businesses. We're in the news today as the Elam Park groundbreaking for Phase 1. So it's a growing city. Do you see a need in the near future to grow the police department, or do you have enough officers?
So at the present time, we're actually overstaffed by about 3 positions because we've taken a stance that we know we're going to lose anywhere from 5 to 6 officers per year for normal retirements. We're getting to that point to where we feel like we're going to start losing more, and we've gotten the green light from Mr. Spurgeon to hire back-to-back academies. So even though we're overstaffed by 3 positions, we had 2 retirements this week. We've got a class of 9 that's going to graduate with it that is going to go on staff in September. So we're just trying to keep ahead of the curve. We're going to continue to overhire until we feel like when all the retirement's done, we're not going to be in the hole. And after that, we'll try to add new positions.
And recently in the news, we've had just some unfortunate circumstances, instances of crime that people aren't necessarily accustomed to in BA. And I'm just curious, they've been in different areas of town. And again, we've talked about BA being a safe city. And so it's unusual when something pops up that like we've seen here in the last few months. Are you seeing that as a trend, or is it more random occurrences?
So, if you take the most recent incident, the epicenter for that was actually in a neighboring town. Anytime you have a suburb that butts up next to a larger city, you're going to get some spillover. I haven't seen anything that was actually created from here, but that's one of those things that as we grow and as we get larger and you fill in the gap between us and a larger city next door to us, we're going to have to be more proactive, and part of that is making sure that we have good relationships with our homeowner associations, community meetings, things like that. And it's important for people to call us. I mean, everybody knows what cars belong in their neighborhood and what cars don't, and it's important for them to let us know because that's what we get paid for. We're going to go out and investigate. If there's someone there, that car doesn't look like it belongs there at 2 o'clock in the morning, go ahead and call us, and we'll come out and take a look at it. But that's one of the reasons why the next year you're going to see us stand up our own real-time crime prevention center to make sure that we are moving forward with the growth of the city.
Broken Arrow Police Chief Brandon Berryhill. I definitely want to talk more about that in the future. We're out of time for today. Thank you for sitting in for Mr. Spurgeon, and I hope to talk soon.
All right, Scott, good talking to you.